She was that girl at one point.
She was.
And she put us all on the map in a different way. It had the old lady, the 75-year-old lady at the airport talking about MMA. So
Yep.
Ronda Rousey is without question the most popular female MMA athlete of all time.
I think she really cemented her legacy as one of the greatest women's MMA champions ever and a pioneer.
But what really happened to Ronda Rousey after her devastating losses inside the octagon?
Do you think about the last couple fights? Do you think about what happened, or have you processed it all?
Well, while she is known for winning, and that too in spectacular fashion, Rousey's life hasn't been the fairy tale that it might look like.
As an American hero, and somehow when I do it for money and not costing any money, I'm a barbarian now.
Before selling out arenas and dominating the mainstream media, she was living in her car and struggling to make ends meet.
Just struggling and giving up their whole lives and just trying to get these medals for their country and their own pride, and then afterward being left with nothing.
This is the sad truth of the rise and fall of rowdy Ronda Rousey. Born in Riverside, California in 1987, Ronda was born into a fighting family and was named after her father, Ronald John Rousey. Ronda was a fighter right from birth. She faced her first battle during birth when her umbilical cord was wrapped around her neck, depriving her of oxygen and leaving her on the brink of death. Now, while she managed to survive, the oxygen deprivation resulted in brain damage that affected her ability to speak, leading her to special education classes. And then growing up as the youngest of three daughters to Anne Maria DeMars and Ron Rousey, Ronda's life took an unexpected turn when the family left their California home for the quiet landscapes of rural North Dakota. Her childhood was filled with adventure and joy, especially when she and her father embraced the winter wonderland of North Dakota. But tragedy struck during a seemingly innocent sledding expedition. One day, while enjoying the thrill of sledding, Ronda's father encountered a snow-covered log. The joyous activity turned into a life-altering moment as he crashed, landing head-first on the ground. Rushed to the hospital with spinal injuries, Ronda's world was about to turn upside down. Doctors worked tirelessly on her father's neck and back, but the damage was already done, and the prospect of recovery was bleak. Full-body paralysis was almost inevitable. Ronda, at a tender age, found herself confined to the hospital, waiting anxiously for her father's recovery. Little did she know this would be the first of many storms that she would weather in her remarkable journey. Devastation struck the Rousey household when Ron Rousey, after partially recovering, made a heartbreaking decision. One day, with no words, he hugged his daughters and left, never to return. Driving to a pond, he chose to end his pain and take his own life, leaving behind an 8-year-old Ronda and her family in shock. Understandably, this incident shook the foundation of Ronda's world. Yet, in the face of tragedy, her mother, Anne Maria, stood as a pillar of strength for her 3 young daughters. Anne Maria was a judo prodigy as a child and teen, and was no stranger to adversity. She had conquered international tournaments. Surprisingly, coming out of retirement in 1984, she won the World Judo Championships. But her brilliance extended beyond the mat. She pursued academic success, earning her MBA and later a PhD in educational psychology. Ronda's mother, a true role model, demonstrated that strength comes in many forms. As Ronda coped with her father's loss, she absorbed the resilience her mother exuded, unknowingly preparing for her own journey in the world of combat sports. A turning point came when Anne Maria decided to move the family back to Southern California. It was in this new environment that Ronda's exposure to judo became the catalyst for a transformative journey. Judo lessons combined with playful arm bars from her mother became the building blocks of Ronda's confidence. Inspired by her mother's legacy, Ronda emerged as a judo prodigy herself. She carved her path in the competitive arena, displaying a rare combination of physical prowess and mental fortitude. Little did she know that this was just the beginning of her story. At just 16, she made a bold move, leaving the comfort of Southern California to train in judo in Massachusetts. Ronda had set her sights on emulating her mother's achievements. She immersed herself in daily lessons, steadily growing as an athlete and an individual. Little did she know that this commitment would lead her to the grand stage of the Olympics. In 2004, at the age of 17, Ronda represented the United States in the judo competition at the Athens Olympics. Despite being the youngest participant, she faced seasoned opponents. The disappointment of finishing 9th fueled her determination to work harder and prove herself at the 2004 World Junior Judo Championships in Budapest. Against all odds, Ronda emerged victorious, claiming the gold medal. Her resilience, tested by near-death experiences and family tragedy, showcased the strength that would become her trademark. The journey continued as Ronda prepared for the 2008 Olympics in Beijing. Ronda's goal was clear: to win a medal and etch her name in history. She faced fierce competition, and though a loss denied her a shot at gold, she fought hard to secure the bronze. Returning home after the 2008 Olympics, Ronda faced an unexpected hurdle. Despite her Olympic success and her prowess in the sport of judo, she still faced significant financial strain. A career in judo did not bring her the relief that she expected. She found herself at a crossroads without a plan and dwindling resources. This led to a stint as a cocktail waitress at a pirate-themed bar. Living in a small apartment with no air conditioning and at times in her car, Ronda faced significant financial hardships. But she wasn't one to give up. She tackled each obstacle head-on, never succumbing to self-pity. It was during this time that she landed a job at 24 Hour Fitness and discovered a new passion: mixed martial arts. Now, with judo ingrained in her DNA, Ronda's transition to MMA was seamless, but it demanded rigorous training. Every spare moment was dedicated to perfecting her craft. She even shadowboxed with droplets of water in the shower, showcasing just how dedicated she was. Now, all this dedication and obsession with fighting laid the foundation for what was to come. In her amateur MMA debut, Ronda faced Hayden Munoz, and in an astonishing 23 seconds, secured victory with an armbar. Now, that style would later become a trademark of her fighting style, as she would take her opponent down at will and then snap their arm. However, despite a flawless 3-0 record as an amateur, Ronda faced a dilemma. She didn't want to make the same mistake twice and pursue another sports career that would leave her struggling to pay the bills. At that time, women's combat sports lacked recognition and financial support. With no women's divisions in the UFC at the time, Ronda contemplated how she would even make a living with her passion for MMA. Despite all initial reservations, Ronda took the leap of faith in 2011 and turned pro, signing with the King of the Cage promotion. Though not widely known at the time, it was a pivotal moment for her career. In her pro debut, she did what she knew best, took her opponent down and submitted her with an armbar just 25 seconds into the fight. Ronda's dominance continued as she ran through her opponents throughout 2012, earning her the Strikeforce Bantamweight title and the title of the face of women's combat sports. It wasn't long before the world took notice and the UFC came knocking. In 2012, Ronda Rousey shattered barriers as the UFC's first ever female fighter. When UFC bought Strikeforce, the Strikeforce Bantamweight Championship became the UFC Bantamweight title, and Ronda was crowned the inaugural female UFC champion. She started her UFC career with a bang, headlining UFC 157 and submitting her opponent Liz Carmouche in the very first round. She continued her reign of dominance in the UFC. 6 consecutive title defenses followed, all where she would finish her opponent within minutes. This catapulted her to be a superstar, and she became the most popular MMA fighter of her time, regardless of gender. She started appearing on TV shows, talk shows, and even movies. However, all that goes up must also come down. In 2015, Ronda faced her toughest opponent yet, Holly Holm, a formidable boxer with skills that Ronda hadn't encountered before. The fight did not go as planned. Holm's striking expertise kept the fight standing, denying Ronda the chance to take her down. This fight exposed Ronda's poor stand-up skills, and in a shocking upset, Holm landed a powerful head kick that sent Ronda to the canvas, marking the end of her perfect record and reign as champion. Ronda's journey took an unexpected turn, and she was nowhere to be seen for 9 months before her return to the cage was announced. A year after her first loss, she was slated to face Amanda Nunes in a comeback bid. Critics questioned Ronda's hiatus and labeled her a poor sport for her handling of the loss to Holm. The comeback fight against Nunes only lasted 48 seconds, ending in a relentless barrage of punches. Now, with her second consecutive loss, Ronda retreated back into silence. The 2 back-to-back losses seemingly shut the door on her MMA career. But as the door to her MMA career closed, another opened. She was a lifelong fan of WWE, and in 2017, she signed a full-time deal with the company. Ronda's first official match with WWE took place at WrestleMania 34. She swiftly rose through the ranks, winning her first WWE Women's title and carrying it triumphantly to WrestleMania 35. But Ronda's journey didn't stop in the wrestling ring. Embracing her unstoppable spirit, she ventured into the world of acting, taking on roles in films like The Expendables and Furious 7. Juggling a new WWE career and acting roles, Ronda proved that she could excel in multiple arenas. Adding another feather to her cap, Ronda also ventured into the realm of literature, and in 2015 she released her book, My Fight, Your Fight. In 2015, she also made history by becoming the first female athlete to co-host SportsCenter, followed by a cover feature on the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. And then as life unfolded, Ronda found love and stability with fellow UFC fighter Travis Browne. Despite the controversy surrounding Browne, Ronda stood by him, considering him the love of her life. They married in 2017, and in 2021, Ronda gave birth to a baby girl named La Akia. Now, there was a time when Ronda would work as a cocktail waitress, but now Ronda's net worth is around $12 million. She embodies the resilience of a true fighter, both inside and outside the cage. She has seemingly retired from the WWE in the summer of 2023 and now lives on a ranch in Riverside, California, enjoying the simplicity of life with Travis and their animals. Ronda also ventured into the realm of professional gaming. Streaming on Facebook Gaming with the baddest stream on the planet, she engages with fans while gaming. And she's not just a gaming streamer, she even voiced Sonya Blade in the video game Mortal Kombat. Now, other than her gaming streams, Ronda has kept herself distant from the celebrity spotlight. She values her well-being, dedicating time to her family, and cherishing the core values that define her as a person. To sum it up, whether you love her or you hate her, Ronda Rousey has broken barriers and overcome obstacles, not only for herself, but for all female athletes. Ronda's career from judo champion to UFC and WWE superstar is the story of a true champion. She broke through every barrier there was for women, becoming the first woman to ever headline a UFC pay-per-view and the first woman ever to main event WrestleMania. She is the only woman to have ever won championships in both the UFC and WWE. She is also the first woman to be inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame in 2018.
I am the first woman standing up here accepting this incredible honor.
All of this and more make her one of the most era-defining and influential athletes of the 21st century.